Mic on.
Yo. There we go. There we go. Okay. Screen is black because I'm logging in. Hello, Loki. Gotcha. Alrighty. Wait, can you guys hear me? Wait, can you guys hear me? Okay, yeah, you can. Alright. Ugh. I'm not gonna lie. I probably made like 2 or 3 videos that will never be uploaded. Where, I don't know. It's so frustrating, man. I've come to the realization that most of the people who watch me are like pure feels crafters. And no matter what I say, no matter how factual or logical it is, people don't want to hear it, bro. People do not want to fucking hear it. They just want to hate on Cassie. Oh, fucking hell. My head hurts. Are you folding on Saredra's banner? Probably not. Cassie team investment priority. Cassie herself, then Cassie S1, then actually Cassie herself, then Hyacine, then Cassie S1, then Cassie E2, and then Hyacine E1. And then after that, you can think about March and Sirene, probably. The free revive from Cassie is actually trash. Like, at this point in the game, a free revive is genuinely garbage and useless. We're now at the point where E1 Don Hung can transfer Phainon's sustainless performance into sustain, and he's like the most broken sustain in terms of sustain in the game. And then you have Cassie's team with Hyacine. Like, these days, nobody is dying, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Also, I'd like to mention something. For Cassie's team specifically, you can't eat, like, you can't use. Okay, so according to the leakers, Sirene has her own global passive, and global passives cannot stack. So if you own both Sirene and Cassie, you'll have to choose between one of the two global passives. You can't even use them at the same time. Like, Cassie's passive is actually garbage. Have you seen the new Sirene leak? Do you mean the thousands of posts I've made on it, or like a new one?
Moment of divine insight arises from enduring patience.
Oh, is this Sirene's V0 kit? I don't know. It looks fishy. It's a little too early for a V0 kit.
Now farewell. Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things.
Where? I saw it on Sirene mains the second I refreshed. It's not on Reddit? It is.
Heard the call.
Cassie rerun worth it for new players who don't have her? If I give my opinion on who you should pull, if you plan on at least putting some decent vertical investment,
Enduring patience.
people are not going to like what I'm going to say, and they're going to fucking bombard me for it.
This. Watch over you. Guide you on your path. Serenity is before me. Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things.
If you want me to be completely honest, if you want a solid team at low investment, then it's a Noxa. Because he can just continuously get buffed by general supports, and he has the most complete kit at low investment. If you plan to go mid investment, then I would say Phainon.
Insight arises from
Phainon is like the best mid investment DPS in the entirety of the game right now. And then if you plan to go like unga bunga levels of investment, it's probably Cassie.
now farewell. I'm just a frail skull. Time to mix things up. I can't think right. Second, my friend. Indulge yourself. So tiring. Serenity is before me.
How much of a big deal is E1 Saridra? E0 S0 Saridra is around 25% better than Branya. 20% if Branya has Light Cone. And then E1 Saridra makes this over 40% jump over Branya. So basically, it doubles her value.
Please. I have another good look. With this divine power, I reforge all things. This. Watch over you. Guide you on your path. Now farewell. To the soul. Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things. Heard the call.
I will say this over and over again.
Just a frail skull.
I know people hate pulling for Eidolons, but Phainon from 0 to 8 cost is better than Cassie if you do optimal investment. If you do pure horizontal
Questions.
and you hate Eidolons with a passion, then sure, Cassie can be better. But the second you include vertical investment, Phainon beats Cassie at every investment level before 10 cost. Oh. Oh no. Do I have to deal with a fucked up thing again? Against single target? No. That calc on my community post is against 3 targets. I'm pretty sure.
This divine power, I reforge all things.
It was 3 targets? Yeah. Oh, Gala's dead.
All things are connected by origin.
Where's that sheet from? Someone put it in the comments, in like replies. It's also accurate. Because there have been other like TCers and like March mains and shit, and they got the exact same number for the full horizontal team in other Reddits as well. And HOS and like a bunch of other people also got the exact same number for that E0S1 Phainon team. So it is basically completely accurate even by other TCers. Which isn't surprising because HSR TCing isn't exactly difficult. Is it stupid to skip Saridra and pull E1 Donhung instead? Yeah, probably. Alright, let me see this leak. Let's see, what is this?
All things are connected by origin. They are made in the same essence.
Is this a fan made kit? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not even gonna talk about it. It seems like a weird kit. Too early. I have E2S1 Phainon. Should I get Saridra or get March for Cassie? I'm gonna be real with you. It's literally the same thing. Like, the difference Saridra makes for Phainon and the difference March makes for Cassie is damn near down to the same percentage increase. Like, you can literally go either or, whatever you feel like more. Do you think pulling Hyacine rerun is worth it with no HP scalers? No, not at all. With Don Hung being free, most teams that aren't HP scaling would rather have Don Hung anyways. And then you also have Gallagher. So like 2 teams already instantly have that. There's really no point in pulling Hyacine when there's just 2 free sustains. Hello, Dino. But Cass is more shield? Yeah. I really hate arguing with Cassie mains, man. It's so fucking annoying. Actually, no, they aren't Cassie mains. They're Phainon mains. You know what? Let me bring it up real quick. Let me bring it fucking up. Okay. Oh shit. Can I not? Okay, I can. Okay. This is something that has been shared among many people, right? And this isn't the only calc that has these numbers. There are multiple different TCers on Reddit who have gotten the exact same DPS numbers for this horizontally invested in Cassie team, right? So, as you can see, second place is a 4-cost Phainon team with Bronya and RMC. So, if you put 2 more limited into Phainon, this team jumps to hitting near 30 million. And it's still 2 less cost than the Cassie team. But Phainon is doomed. Phainon is power crept. Cassie is 50% stronger than Phainon. It pisses me off. It pisses me off so much, man. Mm.
I'm not built for this. You go ahead if you wish to engage.
That could be good randomized. It depends. Cassie can complete the Mono Remembrance team without March, but you need RMC. And then if she has some bullshit gimmick, I don't know.
Let's try it this other way.
I think people are complaining due to the recent leak that Sirene will also work better for Cass. Well, like that's the problem, right? Like I'll bring it up again, and I'll try to be like a little more clear this time, right? This team is still 2 less cost if you give Phainon E2 and you give Ceredra E1 instead of S0, right? So like it's 6 cost versus 8 cost, but at the same time, Phainon is like 40+% stronger than the 8 cost Cassie team. So if you then go even further into investment for Phainon, which in this case, what you would do is you would probably replace RMC or Bronya for E1 Tribi. He would go to like 35 million, right? So it would be like 35 plus million versus Cassie's 18 million, which is literally half of it at the same cost. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like Cassie can't do vertical investment either. She can. My point is, from 0 to 8 cost, Phainon as of current is way stronger than Cassie, and Sirene needs to be like a 40 to 50% upgrade for Cassie's team to actually power creep Phainon, right? Like, that is what needs to happen to make Phainon worse at every single investment level, which is what people are trying to argue for with me right now. It's so fucking unlikely, especially since March is only like 20%. Also, who's to say Sirene won't buff other DPSs too? Like, once again, Phainon could get buffed through the 4th slot depending on Sirene's buffs if they're better than Tribi. And he gets even further pushed ahead.
With this divine power,
Do you think Sirene, Hyacine, and Evernight will be the best in slot team for HP scalers? No. Temporarily, yes. But the second we go back to HP shilling and probably version 5, nah. They'd replace them. You could probably use all of them as alternatives, but won't be best in slot after Cassie, probably.
We can do it.
The leak said she's not a universal character. Okay. I think the reason why they called her not a universal character is because they specify that she has a special buff for every single Chrysos heir. They say this. So if you aren't a Chrysos heir character, you will not receive this special buff that Sirene has. And that'll instantly lower her value for anyone who isn't a Chrysos heir. That alone can justify calling her not general very easily.
I choose you. We can do anything.
Like, I want you guys to know, Tribby in her beta leaks was being leaked over and over again as Herda dedicated support. Right? Like, this was the main Tribby leak, was that she is a dedicated support for Herda, and look at how fucking general she is. You know what I'm saying?
With this divine power, I reforge all things.
Yeah, a Noxa sub DPS slave to Herda and shit, which even I fell for, right?
We can do it.
I have it under control.
Out farewell. Watching over you. Guide you on your path.
With this divine power, I reforge all things. To the soul.
We can do anything.
A new leaker gave this. Sirene can convert HP into energy for allies, but cannot regenerate special energy. That shouldn't matter for Phainon, no? Like, it shouldn't work for everyone else. But Phainon gets a stack from being given energy. So long as it's any type of energy, he should just get a stack from it. Everyone else, though, yeah, they wouldn't get it.
I choose you.
Ready as before.
To the soul. With this divine power, I reforge all things.
Oh yeah, that's true. Cass gets a bit of energy because of HP being drained, and Phainon technically gets a stack because of it being energy related. So it works with both of them.
Guide you on your path.
We can do it. We can do anything.
That actually makes me believe it's real. Because that is like perfectly made to still work with Cassie and Phainon, despite the doesn't regenerate special energy thing. Still works with them.
With this divine power, I reforge all things.
Is that on the leaks Reddit, by the way?
I choose you.
Or is that in like a telegram?
Guide you on your path.
Seems like it's in a telegram.
With this divine power, I reforge all things.
I don't understand why people doom Phainon. It's so weird. Especially when there's scores of this guy with 2 4-stars and free RMC. Bro, it's Phainon mains. Phainon mains want to be victims like so badly. Even though this guy has gotten the second most shilling and the most disgusting vertical investment in the game. They want to be victims so fucking badly, bro. It's embarrassing.
We can do it.
No, Cassie did this. Cassie killed my grandma. Cassie murdered the fucking neighbors down the street.
We can do anything.
Oh yeah. I've talked about it openly before, but Phainon's beta was like the most annoying and obnoxious doom posting of any beta I've ever experienced, including Cassie's. The most annoying beta possible.
Watch over you. Guide you on your path.
I choose you.
Down farewell.
Once again, unless you're a whale, you are not going to be bothered by Cassie getting new teammates. Okay? You're just not going to be bothered unless you're a whale.
I reforge all things.
Only in like full E2 near 20 cost team investment levels will Cassie finally surpass Phainon. Like it's not even worth entertaining, bro. If you're just a regular ass player, you can choose Phainon and Cassie depending on who you like.
We can do it.
Trinity is before you. Watch over you. Guide you on your path.
With this divine power, I reforge all things.
We can do anything.
I mean, yeah, I already know that, Vlad. Like, I literally say this in my community post. I write down like 7 reasons why Phainon is still completely fine and powerful. And then at the end, I mention there's no point in arguing about this. Because we're all talking about, you know, Cassie this, oh my god, power creep, Cassie that. And then the second Sparkle SP drops in 4.0, I bet your asses she's gonna be stronger than the Cassie premium team. Constance plus Sparkle Elation is gonna be stronger than the Cassie premium team fucking 2 patches later. Like, there's no point in even caring about this shit, bro. This is why I'll say, do not fall for FOMO. Please. Out of all games, HSR is the #1 game where falling for FOMO is like the worst. Like imagine, someone sees Cassie premium team. It's the strongest horizontally invested team in the game. They got Tribby. They got Cassie. They got Evernight. Oh my god, wait. Sirene is replacing Tribby. They then get Sirene. They then get Hyacine. They've now put fucking near 10 cost into this team because it was called the premium team. And 2 patches later, it's probably going to get shit on by Sparkle Elation and fucking Constance at half the cost. Right? Like, I need to be serious. Please do not feel FOMO in this game. New teams are just always stronger. Every fucking time. Teams are only the strongest for 1 or 2 patches. After that, it's donezo. Okay, we move on. Nobody gives a shit about Cassie. No one gives a shit about Phainon. We're now in the new meta with Yai Sakura. At that point, why pull? There's a big difference in just normally pulling a team and going full limited teammates Lycone and Eidolon investment for one specific character just for it to fall off 1 or 2 patches later, right? Like, even if you assume somehow Cassie will get a teammate replaced in like version 4 through natural support power creep, very unlikely. That's another -2 cost. You wasted fucking 2 cost in version 3 on a support that would just get power crept anyways. Add another 2 to Cassie. At some point, it becomes like diminishing returns quite a bit when you go too much investment into like any team in Amphoreus that isn't Phainon. Phainon is the only Amphoreus DPS in this entire version whose Eidolon investment can outpace the value he already gives you at E0, right? Like, for example, E0 S1 Phainon plus E0 S1 Saridra can get like, I don't know, 13 million that calc, right? And then E2 Phainon with an E1 Saridra can instantly double his performance, right? And this is 3 instead of 4 cost. So that's why, you know, or actually that's 2 more cost. That's 2 more cost, not 3 or 4. Phainon is the only Amphoreus DPS who can do this. The only one. Saridra is worth pulling for him? Not really. No. I wouldn't say she's worth. She is something you consider after you have E2 Phainon. And that's when you start considering her. However, she is like 20 to 25% better than Branya at E0S0, which is the same as March for Cassie right now. So, I'm keeping the same energy with March for Cassie as I am for Phainon Saridra. There are multiple levels of vertical investment to go through before that's the next best option. And for Cassie, it's actually worse. Because Cassie, like Hyacine E1 and Hyacine S1 is much, much more important to a Cassie team than Saridra E1 and S1 for a Phainon team. So, Cassie may actually have it worse in terms of like March pull value. I will say though, March has the like, you know, added bonus, right? You can free up RMC. That's basically her main purpose of existing. You free up RMC and then you're able to use the likely meta breaking Elation MC in version 4 freely, right? I'd actually argue that's where most of March's pull value comes from and not what she actually gives Cassie. E1 Evernight is bonkers. It's good, but it's like Saridra. It's the same thing. Like E1 Saridra, becomes like a 40-45% increase over Branya for that team. And March, E0 S1 and E1 S0 is around the same thing. It's pretty close in all honesty. E1 Hyacine or E1 March, it's dependent on enemy lineup. But in general, I'd say E1 Hyacine. In my opinion. I just get E1 Hyacine out of the way first. Because to get E1 March, you need to first get E0 March. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? E1 Hyacine is a higher priority in my opinion. Oh yeah, Divine Blade. That's literally what I'm talking about. And what I've made multiple community posts about. There's people doom posting a 30% difference, 35% difference between a Phainon and Cassie team, and that Phainon is doomed at half the fucking cost. When if you add 2 for his E2, he now is at like 26 million, near 30 million. Like, it's doom posting just a doom post. It's useless. Probably Saridra. Probably Saridra. Alright, let me go on my other account. I'm torn between Saridra and Evernight, so they're the same thing, man. They do the same thing for their main DPSs. They have the exact same difference. It's up to you which one you want to choose. Like, I'm not even trolling. What Saridra does for Phainon and what March does for Cassie is literally on the exact same level. In terms of, like, calculations and, like, team damage increase. Should I start investing into Acheron? No. Not at all. Ugh. Why are people saying March is Saridra? Because they give the exact same buff to their DPS. It's literally the exact same. E0S0 Saridra gives 20%. E0S0 March gives 20%. E1 Saridra gives like plus 40%. E1 March also gives plus 40%. Like, they basically do the exact same thing at the same level of investment for their DPSs. Cassie doesn't need March. Yeah, Phainon doesn't need Saridra either. Like, yeah. I agree. Well, like, Phainon is literally the same thing for Phainon. People never use this argument for Phainon, though. I absolutely hate it. People have some insane double standards for Phainon's investment, but will be fucking happily obliged to pull 5 new best in slot supports for Cassie just to make her on the same level as Phainon. Like, it's insane, the double standards, bro. What is this team even farming? Let me just farm, let me farm the high scene planar Loki. People saying Evernight is niche now. I mean, she's niche, but it makes sense. Like, she's a sub DPS. It's like calling a Noxa niche, because his only best in slot teams are with Herda or by himself, right? Like, Saridra's case scenario is technically worse because she's a support. But like an actual DPS, it isn't as bad. But yes, it doesn't change how niche she is.
Be careful. Sound you. Finally! Emerge from your cocoon. Eternal. Darkness with me.
Anoxa is not niche at all. He only has 2 teams that are actually meta.
All will be swept away by the wind.
Either main DPS or sub DPS with Herda, and those are the only 2 ways to play him. March is the same thing. You can play main DPS with multiple different supports. I've seen March clear well with Sunday. I've seen March clear well with other teams that Cassie can't. I've seen March clear with Sustainless, and she can be near the same level as Cassie. And then she also has sub DPS for Cassie. It's the same fucking thing, man. Like, it is the same thing. Anoxa is less niche technically because his main DPS teams can use attack supports, which a lot of 4 stars are. But it's literally almost the exact same thing.
Existence is unity. Return to dust. All will be swept away by the wind.
E4 March doesn't make any sense. Why does she have weakness break efficiency increase? It's because of Cassie's E6.
This place is Can we stay here for a while longer?
Cassie's E6 wants her to break enemies as much as possible so that she can get extra bounce attacks from the dragon.
I'm on it. Do it. Trust. Do anything.
Who's here? Open up. Have some sunshine. I shall remember this. Enjoying yourself? Eternal. May this
Look what they need to mimic Phainon's power, yeah. I don't doubt that Cassie could end up stronger than Phainon, right? Like, I really don't. I think people get it confused.
Future is bright.
I just think that, like, for example, there's this one commenter under my videos and shit, and like they actively watch my channel, and I remember their name because they were one of the main people doom posting Phainon and making him out to be much worse than he actually was. Like this person is known for over exaggerating, and they get one of the most likes on my video, and it's that Cassie is now 50% stronger than the Phainon team. It's just doom posting and a doom post, man. Oh my god. Wait. This could be a god piece for my Hyacine. Hold up.
I'm on it. I choose you.
Who's here? Snow blue, restore the skies. Embrace a new life. Return to dust.
No, yeah, that's exactly the thing, Zeonic Blade. Like, someone brought up giving March E1 and Triby E1 to make a 10 cost, but it's like, you can do the same thing for Phainon, right? Like, here's the thing. 6 cost Phainon's team hits that 30 million around so threshold, right? So if you want to compare to like a 10 cost Cassie team for her to finally catch up, E1 Triby is 35% stronger than using any other 4th slot, right? That is how strong E1 Triby is. So if you want to make the argument of like, oh, E1 Triby this, E1 Triby in a Phainon team would instantly put him near the 40 million damage mark. Oh my fucking god. And that's 8 cost, by the way. That is 8 cost. It's E1 Saridra, E2 S1 Phainon, and then E1 Triby. With probably Branya.
Do it. Do anything.
As you wish.
I mean, Phainon can 2 ult in Sustainless. Like, Phainon can 2 ult.
Embrace a
It's not only 1.
darkness.
So you kind of have to count 2 ults worth of damage for a like a Phainon in Sustainless. Unless you do the rotation wrong. Like, this is why people use Phainon Sustainless as the standard. The fact that the guy can just heal himself and shit makes it like way easier.
I choose you.
Is 2 ults possible with E1 Triby though? Yes. With E1 Saridra, yes, it's guaranteed. Shira, I believe, made a video on it a while back where E0 Saridra can be a bit RNG, but E1 Saridra can like fully guarantee a second ult in the same cycle.
May death protect us.
I will be right back in a second, guys.
Mic off.
Enjoying yourself? Snow blue, restore the skies. Embrace a new life. Darkness with me. Have some sunshine. May death protect us.
Mic on.
I'm back. Oh my god. Beautiful.
I choose you. Anything.
I'm calling it now. Castros will be stronger than Phainon's most premium team with Sirene if the HP manipulation leak is true. But who cares though? Like, who cares though? Who the hell expects a DPS to be top dog for like more than 2 or 3 patches in this game? I could give less of a shit if Cassie with 3 designated supports, all with perfect synergy in Lycons and Eidolons, can finally catch up to Phainon, if not surpass it by a bit. Like, finally, congratulations, right? Am I gonna pull for your best in slot teammates? No! What the fuck? What do I look like? I'm going straight for Sparkle and Constance that instantly power creep your ass. Now, on this account, it's a different story, right? This account already has Hyacine and already has E2S1 Cassie. So, like, depending on Sirene leaks and, like, March future beta changes, I may consider it. But, like, I just don't need it. E1 Hyacine is probably a better investment than anything else I can make right now. Yeah, like, this is another thing people need to consider, right? Here's the funniest thing. Every time people talk about Sirene, and they're, like, using this as an argument against me, right? Everybody, for some reason, assumes that Phainon doesn't exist, right? Oh my god, when Cassie gets, you know, Sirene, like, her team, it's gonna go beyond levels, right? But if these people could think just a little bit, there are no other true damage sources in Phainon's team. If she works with Cassie, that means she works with Phainon. She has a special buff for every Chrysos heir. The chances of Tribby being kicked out as the best in slot 4 slot as a support for Phainon is incredibly fucking high by Sirene. Like, it is really, really fucking high. So even if you make the argument of, like, Sirene will buff Cassie, it'll end up being a thing of, like, if she has true damage, and if she does give a special buff to Phainon and a strong E1, there's a good chance Phainon gets buffed just as much. Like, oh my god. It's insane, man. It's absolutely insane. Sirene replacing Saridra? No. It's because of E1 Saridra that it allows you to comfortably place a Stainless Phainon without 2 action advancers. If you don't have E1 Saridra, you need to semi-rely on RNG. So that's why E1 Saridra actually kind of matters here. Outside of, like, the defense ignore being pretty nice for his meteors and damage increase, it's also the stacking ability allowing you to more comfortably place a Stainless with a team buffer. Alright. Time for the moment of truth. Give me 12 speed. I'll take it. I would have preferred speed, but I'll take it. Right? Pretty big upgrade in my opinion. Pretty big upgrade. Oh, if that got speed, it would have been really nice. Okay. Yup. Down here. Uh-huh. Here's another one. This was the other one I was looking for. HP percent only. Eh. Yeah. Yeah. I believe in battle she still gets 200 speed. Crash your purple relics later. Later. Will you get Hyacine, Lycon, or E1? I'll probably skip March. I don't know. I think, okay, this is what I'll do. I'll build Pity on March's banner, and depending on how it goes, I may or may not get her. But Hyacine E1 100% matters more than March. Like, it's just off. Like, you need to understand, Hyacine E1 and Tribi E1 are on like the exact same level of worth it Eidolon investment for Cassie. And in like non-perfect AoE scenarios, it's easily E1 Hyacine. Hyacine's E1 is a pretty massive game changer. For Cassie at least. Any other team, only Lycon is better. That's how it goes. Also, I would like to add this, right? There's a good chance that Sirene may possibly matter more as an upgrade for the Cassie team than March as of current. Because March is only like a 20% upgrade at E00, which is like Ceredra level, right? And the thing is, Cassie can fulfill Mono Remembrance with RMC, Sirene, and Hyacine. So, if she has like some bullshit Mono Remembrance requirement to unlock her full buffs, then Cassie could still do this without March. And so, you know, maybe at that point Sirene might be more worth it. Depends. We'll end up seeing. It's also possible Sirene increases March's value, right? Could go either way. Let me see. Yeah, by the way, to the people who think Don Hung is like guaranteed gonna get buffed, I'm gonna be honest, you're delusional. Right? Like, I don't want to say this to be rude, But anyone who thinks there's actually like a good chance of him getting buffed are probably delusional, right? I don't mean this to be condescending, but like people need to understand the reason Hoyo was so comfortable with making Hyacinth as strong as she is because she is as strong as she is in her specific niche. Dan Heng is way more general than Hyacinth is. Like, way more general. And any team that uses Sunday will now be getting an extra 50% damage boost plus a flat attack buff, which, by the way, Anoxa loves, right? Plus a summon that does damage. It is very, very unlikely that they will purposely make Dan Heng even stronger and put E1 in base kit like I want, right? It's just very unlikely. Dan Heng is much more general. If they give Dan Heng SP refund similar to Fugues, that would be crazy. Well, yeah, that's what the E1 is for. Now, I'm going to be dead serious, right? If you're someone who really hates sustainless and, like, you don't want to, you know, fine-tune sustainless Phainon teams, I would recommend, obviously, after you get, like, E2 Phainon and shit, and, like, Saridra, to get E1 Dan Heng. Because E1 Dan Heng is 15% res pen, but also alongside this, SP refund when he uses his ult. So this also alleviates the SP positivity, because Dan Heng, after using skill once, doesn't use it again. Ever. Like, after that, it's completely done. He never has to use it again. So he's more SP positive sustainless, and at the same time, nearly as strong as sustainless with Branya, basically. I'm going to read that V0 Sirene kit afterwards, though I don't think it's real, because there's no Telegram on it, and it's not on the actual leaks Reddit. Actually, you know what? Let's just read it together. I'm going to end stream after this, probably. So let's just read this together. Okay. So, this is Sirene Main's kit. Basic attack, no one gives a shit. Skill, if... What's ES? If blah 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 is not the first character in the team lineup, will summon 1, 2, or 3 memo sprites based on the first character in the team lineup. If 1, 2, or 3 are already on the field, dispels all CC debuffs the memo is afflicted with, and restores 60% of memo sprites max HP. Enhanced skill, after using it, sets the action order back to when she used her ultimate and enters blank state. All allies in the blank state will have their HP restored back to their respective amounts when she used her ultimate. So Sirene reverses action order. So she basically reverses time. That's what this is saying. Sirene is going to reverse time to when she ulted. If this ended up being real, the animations would absolutely be fucking insane. I would actually love to see something like that. What is this? Erudition, Nihility, Remembrance, Destruction, Summon. Oh. Oh. So depending on what path you use on a character, it'll give you like a different buff or something. I'm a little confused by this. I'm 100% confused. Ultimate gains 1 stack of stasis. At the same time, deploys territory and deals ice damage equal to 200% of the first character in the team lineup's highest stat. Oh. This is... Oh, wait, no. Because she can't do this in Phainon's ult. Oh, yeah, that kind of sucks. Last all enemies, ult type res will decrease by 15%. And all out... Oh. Hold up. Hold up. Wait. 15% old type res pen and 35% true damage. That is better than Tribby in a Cassie team. I don't... Wait, no. Yeah. It is better than Tribby in a Phainon team. By a little bit. But it's not anything crazy, I think. Enters the state, dispels territory. In battle, ally characters that received a killing blow enter the sim... Wait. She has Cassie global passive in her ultimate. If people die, they just come back. Oh. Wow, Cassie already power crop, by the way. GG's. Talent. When the territory is active, gains up to 1 point of stasis after each turn of the first character in the team lineup. When ES has 13 stacks of stasis, immediately takes action. Her skill gets enhanced and her basic attack cannot be used. When the battle starts, action advance. When Memo Sprite is on field, 100% crit rate. And when Memo Sprite takes action while blank is in the blank state, Memo Sprite designates a single ally as probably stasis, right? Talent Memo Sprite 1 has an initial speed of 120 max HP. Okay, yeah, so she has multiple Memo Sprites. I was right. These numbers are like different Memo Sprites. Okay. Memo Sprite skill... Oh, wait. Already we read through this. Memo Sprite skill designates a single ally, excluding this unit as blank, lasting until the end of combat. The target that has blank... This is separate from the ult. There's no way this is real. If this is real, Tribby is getting her ass kicked out of every fucking team. Easily. Like, this is after the ult buff, by the way, that gives 35% true damage and 15% res down. And then this Memo Sprite skill gives 40% true damage to an ally for 3 attacks. Oh wait, no, it's 1 attack. But if they have this, each time they do damage, it does true damage. 40% of the total. Like, you need to understand, if Phainon does like a 1 milli meteor, this is going to add another 400k. Even outside of the ult buff. This is the different abilities for the different Chrysos heirs. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. So this is the different abilities for the different Chrysos heirs. So what's this one for? Probably Cassie? So this would be Cassie's team? So this one... Memo Sprite skill. What? Okay, this is the next Memo Sprite skill. Deals 8... I don't know. Check above. Yeah, but it doesn't really say anything. This skill automatically selects a target, deals ice damage. Target prioritizes target that has highest HP among the targets. So maybe this is Cassie's? Oh, I see. Okay. So this, I think, is Cassie's. They're going to bring back, you won't be able to do damage. Memo Sprite talent. While blank is on the field, increase the highest stat of characters of the hunt by 44%. And increase their base speed. Doesn't this mean that the Chrysos Air special buff isn't real then? Because this is path special buffs instead of Chrysos Air specific buffs. Or am I tripping? Like, that's what the leakers were saying. They were saying it was Chrysos Air specific. Or is that just me? Memo Sprite talent. Disappear, blah, blah, blah. Memo Sprite skill. Designates a single ally, excluding this unit. Yeah, we already read this one. Memo Sprite 2 has an initial speed, basic attack, enhanced sting, all that. Memo Sprite skill, deal 8 instances of ice damage, equal to 50% of the first character in the team lineup's highest stat. This. Memo Sprite talent. When Memo Sprite is on the field, increases the highest stat for characters following the path of erudition, nihility, remembrance, and destruction by 35%, and increase their base speed equal to 12% of Sirene speed, maybe? Or the Memo Sprite speed? Wouldn't this 35% buff go towards Phainon's attack? And then also make him consume less AV? I don't know, man. The thing is, I'm 50-50 on it. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, Hoyo just stopped giving a shit, but like, I'm not even trolling. This buffs Phainon equally to how much it buffs Cassie. It's the same thing. This isn't a Cassie dedicated support. Like, Phainon's 4th slot would instantly be taken by Sirene. Instantly. It's fake? Yeah, probably. But, like, sometimes, like, okay, so, like, at this point, we have gotten a leak like this for a V0 kit 2 or 3 times. And in the last 2 or 3 times, those kits were mostly accurate, even if they were slightly off. And leakers would even say, like, oh my god, this kit is fake. And then it ended up coming true, right? So, I do think there is a small possibility this could be real. But it does go against what we know currently, with 1, her being more so targeted towards Cassie, and 2, she's supposed to buff Chrysos Airs, not specific paths, as far as I'm aware. I don't know. But if this does end up being true, she buffs Cassie and she buffs Phainon like equally. I'm going to be honest. In sustainless teams, it's like equal buffs. This would be an insane jump for both Cassie and Phainon. Well, I think that's it. I think I'm going to get off now. I'm tired. I have an A and all day too. Love you all. Thanks for sitting in theory crafting. Remember, some Phainon mains, not all, but some, don't take the Doom posting seriously, okay? They don't have any idea what they're talking about. We went over it in the stream. It is going to be very hard to power creep Phainon, and even if she does, it's too fucking expensive. Right, love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night, and